What's going on? It's 96.5 Amp Radio. We are in the Gwynedd Mercy University Artist Lounge.
Yeah.
Hanging out with Nick Cannon.
Getting it in.
Dude, before we get into things, I came across a Twitter account, and it is your turban.
My turban has its own Twitter account. It's amazing, man.
I feel like that's a new level of fame. Like, do you remember when Pharrell's his Only You Can Prevent Forest Fires had a Twitter account?
When I wore my turban to the VMAs, I think that's when it all started. And like there was literally, I think like an Elle magazine or somebody was like, "Is Nick Cannon's turban the new Pharrell hat?" And I was like, I think mine has a little bit more significance, but I'll take it, whatever.
So funny, man. So I found out you were coming in. I was so excited about it because, I grew up watching Wallin' Out. That was such a big part of growing up for me. And also, I'm from Connecticut, so when you were doing the radio thing, you had the morning show. You had a countdown for a while, right?
Yeah. Shout out CBS Radio. You know how we do.
Dude, do you miss that? Why'd you get out of it? Will you get back into it?
I never left radio. I mean, obviously, a lot of things that I'm doing now, where I'm actually building my own platform and doing stuff. Because as the CCO of Radio Shack, we're doing a lot of interesting stuff, and actually CBS is involved. I mean, that's family. That's always been family. But to be honest with you, I got out of morning radio health reasons, man. I mean, people don't understand how hard radio is and the toll it takes out of you to actually, especially like the morning show hours. And I was everybody knows I have 1,000 jobs, but to try to do a morning show where literally I was up every morning at 4 a.m. and then, I might have just got home at 2 a.m. From all my other stuff that I was doing. So that took so much out of me that my doctor was like, yo, if you really, in 2012, I was diagnosed with lupus nephritis. He was like, yo, if you really want to get better in your health, right, you can't do this each and every morning. You got to get more rest. And so something had to pull back, and unfortunately, it was my morning show.
Dude, I just thought about that actually. Speaking of lupus, Selena Gomez is also. Have you bumped into her? Or
absolutely. I mean, we've had conversations, and I send her nothing but love and support. I mean, as someone who actually understands how to deal with an invisible condition that some people, when you look at them, like, oh no, they look fine. I just seen them, and they don't understand that they're going through a lot. And it's an autoimmune condition where sometimes, man, you never know. Those flare-ups, it hit you, and it'll be a horrible day. And so that's why I think I sent out, a tweet and, an Instagram post, but then even personally reached out to just let, her and her team know that I'm there, whatever I can do to support.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Speaking of your thousands and thousands of jobs, we were talking off camera. You're going to school now too because you thought you had too much downtime. Apparently, so crazy, man. Do you ever feel like you spread yourself too thin?
Sometimes, you know what I mean, and that actually in my personal life. You know what I mean? Because first and foremost, I got to be the best father I can possibly be. And, sometimes that guilt will hit you and you're like, man, I'm doing all of this stuff and people are so fascinated. But it's like, you got to be there. I need to make sure I'm communicating with my kids' teachers. You know what I mean? And when they need something. And honestly, that, obviously they have an amazing life. But, at the same time, you got to just be dad when you need to be dad. And then, outside of that, whether, that's why I don't really have time for like dating and taking relationships seriously, because, I do spread myself thin in a place where I'm always focusing on trying to conquer this and do this. But ultimately, you got to make sure you take care of yourself and personally and your family.
Family and health, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if you think about this. I think about this for you. I'm like, but what if Nick Cannon was only a rapper and he only focused on music? Like, do you think what heights maybe you could take that to if you were just an artist?
But that's what I'm saying. I am an artist to the core. So to me, it's how I release it. You know what I mean? And sometimes it comes out in spoken word. Sometimes it comes out in music. Sometimes it comes out in comedy. And I am acting. It's just like, it's whatever that passion is at that moment. So, I probably got, 3 or 4 hard drives just full of music that is yet to be released. You know what I mean? So I have all of that stuff, and it's just really about time management and when do you release it and how do you approach it. But I think I would be so frustrated if I could only be one thing.
Dude, I heard some of the bars recently you've been spitting on, like, Instagram. You better not let the principal at Howard University hear any of that stuff, man.
It's getting edgy.
It's dirty.
Yeah, I talk to all of my professors and, specifically, the dean at the college and be like, yo, sometimes I can get a little outspoken in a little while, but, again, it's art, so, you can never really judge it.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen some of the interviews that Ariana Grande's been doing recently, but she has like little mini freakouts when anybody brings up her boyfriend, Mac Miller.
Really?
Yeah. And so I wanted to ask you, being in the limelight, having these high profile relationships, stuff like that, how do you decide what...
I'm about to freak out.
You are? You're about to store? Yeah. No, how do you decide what you want to share with the public and what, is a personal thing that you just want to keep for you and your family or whatever?
Man, I'm a different kind of beast when it comes to that. I mean, being someone who understands being on both sides of this, I've had to conduct a lot of those interviews and from being someone who's reported on a lot of this stuff, man, I'm an open book. You know what I mean? I understand that this is what we signed up for. You know what I mean? You can't be upset because one day you walk out and you're flaunting, holding hands and making Instagram and Twitter videos, and the next day when somebody asks you about it, you don't want to talk about it. Like that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? If you want to keep stuff private, there's a way to be private. There's several entertainers, artists, and celebrities who keep their personal and private life private. We know nothing about these people. And even high profile people, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's so amazing where some of these people like want to get out there and talk to their millions of fans about their personal life, but then when they're asked about it in an interview, then they're offended, and it's like, yo, that's
crazy,
ridiculous to me. Like, what you signed up for, and this is part of the job, and you could have a lot worse conditions and situations. You know what I mean? Someone wants to know about your life. Oh my God! Like, yo, tell them what they want to know. So I'm an open book. Again, like I said, I'm a different beast because I don't hold anything back, and I've always been an open book.
Well, good. Now I can ask this next question.
Set up.
Yeah. So you are about to drop this new song. I saw the teaser. It actually samples TLC. You have Chili in there.
Yeah.
How did that all come about?
It's funny, man. Like, obviously been a huge TLC fan for the longest. So when I was in the studio and myself and the producers kind of came up with the concept it was What About Your Friend sample. And I was like, yo, that's dope. So when I went in the booth, I just started freestyling. I actually threw Chili's name in the verse. I was like, hat to the back, swagged out, looking like Chili. And I was like, yo, how crazy would it be if Chili was in the video? So then I called her and I was like, yo, I got this song and I would love for you to be in the video. And she agreed to do it. I mean, like, the rest is history. I mean, if you even look in the teaser, I mean, it's undeniable chemistry. So I can't really, I can't act like, oh, there's nothing there. Like, I adore that woman and always had a crush on her.
That wasn't like a peck on the lips,
man, I was like, I'm about to go in.
Yeah.
I was like, this might be the only chance I get for a little TLC. So I'm going to get what I can get.
I don't know if you saw, I think I saw it on YouTube or something. I don't know if T-Boz has a podcast or something, but she was grilling Chili about it.
Really?
You need to go on there.
I got to check that out.
Oh my God, you guys are friends. And she was like, so there was smooching going on. It was steamy. Like, what went down off camera? I was like, whoa, T-Boz.
That is funny. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I need to check that out.